Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, go check out my shorts where I did a Halloween nail art series. But if you have, you already know where this tutorial is coming from, so let's get straight into it. Starting with my nail prep, I just wipe the nails down with some alcohol to kind of dry them out before I lay down any gel polish. You want to do that because if not, the gel polish will separate if you have extra oils on your nail. All the polishes that I'm using is from Beetlejuice beside the 3D gel and my black. I will link them down below. If you're new here and you don't know that I'm on my freestyle kick and getting better with my freestyles, I'm always going to tell y'all new gems when I find them out. So this new gem that I have figured out is mapping out all your base colors first when doing the freestyle is going to help you out so much. Once you know what specific theme that you want, and I will link the video right here where I really went into detail about knowing your themes, it's going to make it 10 times easier to pick up your color choices based off of the theme that you have for the set. Now, laying down your base colors is kind of like your blueprint for your set. It's kind of like you planning out like, okay, this is the structure of the set. This is what I have to go based off of. So my client here, she is a braider and she do have like two different shapes on her nails. She has square and then she has stiletto on the pinky. So I wanted her pinkies to stand out and she like it when I make her pinky stand out. So I know I wanted to do the glitter on the pinky and that's the one I wanted to wrap the little snake design around. Now I did get some of my inspiration for Pinterest and I will post it right here. I didn't copy it exactly, but of course I added some of the designs here and there in there to kind of tie the look all together. All right, I'm gonna go back to the prep. So with the prep now, it definitely have changed. If you go back to my old videos, you will see that I was like hell bent on my matte top coat. I still stand by my matte top coat, but I don't really need it anymore. Now that I have got into buffers, and y'all probably like, got into buffers? Shouldn't you have been into buffers? No, I was not into buffers. I would just use my sanding band and that will be it. So now I do use the buffers and buff out the nails and then go back and wipe it down with alcohol. At first I used to just use the sanding band and wipe it down. The same process, but the only thing is I don't use the sanding band anymore to buff it. I just use the buffer. The good thing with being a nail tech is you don't have to sit there and do one routine if you know that it's not working for you. You can always switch it up. You can always change it. Just like with the freestyles, I always change my process to see what is working better for me and what isn't. And I'm definitely going to let my nail fam know when I change something. I got to let y'all know because I feel like if it works for me, it might potentially help like 1% of a person out. And my comments is always open. Y'all could comment down below and let me know what are y'all struggling with. And if I can help y'all, I definitely will. Or I will advise y'all to go check out a video if I already spoke on that topic before. All right, now back to the base colors. So with doing the base colors, you want to make sure that you have the most pigmentous, is that a damn word? Most pigment gel polishes. Because if not, you're going to be doing like so many different layers of gel polishes and you don't want that because you don't want your nails to lose their shape and end up looking real thick looking. So with this black is so perfect. I'm gonna make sure I link it down below. It is not by Beetlejuice. It is from Amazon. It is from a brand called Creations. If you haven't already, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're still here. I did end up going with a second coat on the pinky because the glitter, glitter like that, it can be a little sheer sometimes, especially if it's not the chunky type of glitter. And when I mean chunky type of glitter, y'all know the glitters with like the big little glitter speckles in there. Those are real thin. So I was like, okay, I could go in with a second coat because I do want it to be more pigmented and I do want it to stand out and give them more purple effect because at first it was like more sheer pinkish purplish, but I'm like, no, I want it to pop. It's a stiletto. Now don't be scared to go in with a second coat, but just make sure you keep it real like thin. Make sure you're not really piling it on there because you don't want it to look too bulky. Now let's go ahead and trickle on into the lady of the hour, our swirl design. This brush that I am using is by Beetlejuice. I will link it down below. Now, first you want to start off with doing your center. You want to map out your center. You have to have the center of the swirl. And you want to make sure that you place your pinky on something to hold your hand more steady. Even though I have been doing nail art for a while, my hand still does get shaky from time to time. Now all you're going to do is curve your brush around in a circle. Now when you feel like you need to stop, stop. I feel like that's what my problem was when I first started out. I will always try to continue the line and keep it going. But if you feel like you need to stop or change hand positions, that's what you got to do to make sure that it comes out right. The good thing with this design, your lines do not have to be sharp and crisp for you to still come out with a great outcome. Like, it looks great either way. Either way if your lines are crisp, or either way if they're a little jagged. I think the little jagged gets a little edge to it, a little creepiness to it. Perfect for the spooky season. Now, once you done got done with doing your circles in the center, around the edges, it's still going to be blank because obviously you can't take the swirl all the way around. So all you're going to do is start drawing like little rainbow shapes in the shape of the swirl. And that's it. You don't have to take it all the way around or nothing like that. You draw those little rainbow shapes. It's going to make it look like the swirl is complete when it's really not. And here is a more close-up view. You will see, like, once I started, I'll do the line and then I'll come back around and connect it to the other side. Because, I don't know, my hand coordination is not that great for me to just be doing a full swirl, just taking a brush all the way around. I like to stop in between because I noticed that when you keep going, that's when you mess up. Learn how to stop when you feel like you're about to mess up. Y'all, that's what I had to keep telling my past self, because I used to really like mess up some good work from not knowing how when to be like, hold up, take a break, stop, get yourself together, change hand positions, let's do this up again. This is a better view of what I had said earlier about how sometimes you can't really take it all the way around because you run into the edge of the nail, and now it's like, what do I do from here now? But I'm going to show you. All you're going to do is take that brush and go back around that last time just to fill in that little black spot, and you're just going to create like a little rainbow on the empty black spots just to give the illusion, hey, I finished the swirl, but hey, I really did it. It's just a couple of lines, and that's all. This whole swirl thing is like an illusion, and I did mess up right here. I was so upset because this spot is so tight. I don't know if y'all can see it, but probably when I move my hand, y'all see that right there? Yeah. I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to get in there without messing up the whole nail? So you know what that means? That means that I have to go deep within and find the lightest hand that I have for me to not ruin this whole design. So I just took my little cleanup brush, dipped it in some acetone, and just used the bristles to just flick. Not wipe the whole thing, just flick it a little bit so I could just fix that one little line, and we're good to go. And we're back in business. Now on to the next design. The Boogeyman on Nightmare Before Christmas. But it's a little twist on it. It's a little alternative because this is a smaller space and I am working on a shorter type of nail. So I can't do his whole figure and whole silhouette and all that stuff. So we're just going to stick with his face for now. When my client first came to me and told me that she wanted green, purple nails, because she did give me color options, but I just chose the other colors, like the white and the black, to tie it in all together. I chose this neon green because I feel like at nighttime it would stand out even more and it'll give it more of a spooky appearance. All right, let's get into drawing these eyes. So when you first start off with drawing, you do not want too much gel on the brush. You're going to place the brush at the high point of the nail and bring it down to the middle of the nail, but with a slight curve. And you're going to do the same thing for the bottom. But once you get them to meet, you're going to try to pull out the front of them just a little bit to give it that more pointier, alien looking type of look. You're going to give him an upside rainbow for the top of his lip. Make sure it stretches all the way across the nail. It's going to give it that really creepy look. And for the bottom of his lip, you want to bring it down really low so it could kind of look like he's chuckling a little bit. And while the mouth is still wet, you're going to go in and add the little scarecrow slices to the mouth. Just so you don't have no extra polish or nothing like that. Because honestly, it's already wet. So you could just go ahead and flick it up. And I gave him a little curve to define the bottom of his lip. And then I started top coating the nails that I already finished. That I know is set. I'm not changing this. They're done. That is something that I also have changed about my freestyle technique. I noticed that when you top coat it, it's like, okay, I'm done with those two. Those ideas are already on the nail. Now it's time to focus on the other ones. It might not make sense to nobody else, but it makes sense to me. And when I got done, my client was like, oh my gosh, this is the fastest you have ever did the freestyle. And I was like, yeah, girl, I've been practicing. Those nails are already signed, sealed, and delivered. So it's like when you go to work on the other nails, you really don't have that much work. You don't have to go back and do those nails over again. if that makes sense. Now, this is just my way of doing it, but if y'all have any different ways that y'all do freestyles or any tips, don't be scared to leave them down in the comments below, because I like to figure out different ways that would help me or help others have a faster freestyle process. Because that is the goal here, to get these freestyles down pat. So now I'm just going to take out my 3D molding gel and curve out this snake design. Now, once I get it rolled out skinny enough, I'm going to place it on the nail and kind of play with it and curve it around and see how the placement is looking on the nail. Because you got to think about it, the nail is small. So I don't want it to be looking too big and too crazy looking on the nail. Once I like the way it look, I make sure she put her hand in the light because I want it to be stuck in place before I go ahead and paint it. And I also forgot to mention that I did go ahead and top coat the pinky before I laid down the 3D snake. The reason why I did that is because I noticed when you try to top coat the whole thing, it can make the 3D art look kind of funny and make it blend in with the nail, because at that point the top coat is kind of like clumped up in it's just hard. It's gonna be a whole lot to move around with, and with this snake design it has too many crevices and curves to try to get around. So I was just like, okay, we're just gonna kill two birds with one stone and top coat it before. And also it does make it very easier for you to remove the design when your client comes back for a refill. Because I remember last time I did that cute little 3D flower design. Y'all know the 3D flower design that everybody was on. And I could not get that thing off of her nail. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me, why is this so hard to get off? It's because I didn't top coat it first and then put the flower down. Because if I would have top coated it first, it would have had something shiny to go on top of. So it would just been like, boop. It would have just popped off. But since I didn't, it was stuck. It was stuck. So I didn't want those same problems. So I was like, okay, let me make sure I top coat it first and then put this thing down. So therefore, it'll just be easy to pop off when she come back to get her refill. With painting the snake design, I kind of was like, like real like tense and stuff like that, because I was scared, like, okay, what if I paint it and then it gets on the other part? Then I'm gonna have to go back and clean it off. And it did happen like a couple of times. Like when I was painting it, the base of it white, it would get on the glitter, and I'd be like, ugh, now I gotta go back and clean it off. And then I was painting the black, it was getting on, I was like, eh. So that's the only con I would say about doing the snake. But other than that, it's a real cute and fun design. I got one more nail to go, which is the pointer finger, and I didn't end up catching that on camera because I still was kind of iffy about what I was going to do. But I did end up making a short, so go check that out. I ended up doing the skull design. And yeah, the nails are complete so far. Other than this finger on the thumb, I ended up just painting it purple and doing like some green drips. It was real cute, real simple. But let me know down in the comments what kind of Halloween nails y'all go for. Do y'all have y'all certain sets that y'all go for, or do y'all like to just do the fall theme? If y'all have any questions about the design down below, what y'all think I should do different, what did y'all like about it, what y'all would have did different, don't be scared to let me know down below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications for any of my new tutorials that I will be dropping, especially the shorts. And don't forget about my playlist. And I thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to see you guys in my next one. Bye.